Dear ladies and gentlemen, it's such an honor for me to be here today. The reason why we would make this video is that people might have some false notions, and we hope our video would be of help to change those common misconceptions. In my view, nothing beats a moment when the unknown becomes clear. If you want me to describe, I would say this feeling is like seeing the light in the darkness, or getting out of the maze, or breaking free of a situation that controls life. I always pay great attention to common misconceptions. In this speech, we will discuss 3 common myths about food, exercise, and body. The reason why we pick them as the speech topic is that those mistaken beliefs matter to you in daily life. Furthermore, by knowing more myth-busting facts about the common misconception that most people believe are true, we are developing our ability, which is defined as the desire and ability to quickly grow and adapt one's skill set to remain employable throughout their life. We should keep an eye on false knowledge because it's a matter that concerns us all. If the truth is in evidence against what you know, it's time to change it right. And so, without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker, Eva.
Have you ever heard of someone keep telling you what to eat or what food you should avoid eating? Some advices might be true. However, sometimes you have to take things with a grain of salt. Some of the statements are actually myths that have been misunderstood by the public for all time. As for me, I've once suffered a great deal from it by following the myths of food that I heard from others. But then I found out there were different views and statements about the same food. I know there were too many of you who have the same experiences as I. Today, I will take you to know more about them and bust the myths. First, what do you think of when you hear frozen fruit or canned vegetables? Unhealthy? Scary? Harmful? Do frozen and canned fruits and vegetables really have less nutrition than fresh fruits and vegetables? Now the question marks start to appear in your mind, and the terrible experiences of buying fresh fruits that was not fresh at all come up with you. Indeed, fresh fruits and vegetables are more nutritious than the frozen and canned ones during the moment they are picked. But according to the research of Illinois State University, the fresh one might become not that fresh as you think, because the food you find in the market has often been through a long journey. It often spends days or even weeks to transport the fruits and vegetables from the farm or the orchard to the market. During the transiting and storage, natural enzymes will be released in fresh fruits and vegetables, and that causes them to lose nutrients. By contrast, the frozen ones are frozen at a low temperature immediately after they are picked. It can preserve much of the nutrients of the fruits, such as vitamins and minerals. So, of course, the quality can also be remained. Next, let's talk about nuts. Nuts are good for our health, but there are always some myths about nuts. Some people refuse to eat nuts because they think of nuts as junk food. Some others believe that eating nuts they can easily gain weight because of high calories and fat. Many of you might believe this huge misunderstanding of nuts and give up your favor on nuts. However, you can actually get a lot of protein and nutrients by eating nuts as long as you keep the serving to a handful, and you may get your weight well controlled by eating nuts. Hard to believe? Let me explain to you. The fats in nuts can stimulate the satiety hormones in your gut, help you to feel fuller and help you to feel fuller for longer. And science shows that nut eaters actually weigh less. Thus, nuts are actually good for managing your weight as long as you don't eat too much of it. The perfect way is to eat 30 grams a day. Different kinds of nuts can offer different nutritional benefits. Look at the chart to check out how 30 grams really look like. 30 grams is like 20 almonds, 10 Brazil nuts, 15 cashews, etc. Besides, nuts are not junk food. Harvard's research researchers found that women who ate nuts regularly and in an appropriate amount were 20% less likely to develop type 2 diabetes than those who didn't eat them very often. Moreover, several large studies have found that nuts help people to protect against heart disease. The reason why there is a stereotype of nuts equal to obesity is that they are mostly sugared or salted nuts sold in the markets. Now we know it is not the nut, but the processed product, the culprit of obesity. Last, I want to discuss the magical power of alcohol. People commonly use alcohol to fall asleep. And people believe a nightcap may relax their bodies so they can fall asleep faster and sleep deeply. However, you might think this sounds reasonable. You feel sleepy every time after you drink some alcohol. Yes, so do I. However, the myth of alcohol let you rest easily should be debunked. According to the research, the fact is alcohol does help sleep, but it reduces your sleep quality. It is not a good way to use alcohol to help you sleep because studies shows that you wake up more at night and alcohol causes sleepwalking, amnesia, snoring, and even sleep apnea that let you stop breathing all night. The more you drink before you go into bed, the stronger the interference will be. Alcohol might make you mistakenly believe that your sleeping quality is improving, but this is not the case. Using alcohol as a sleep aid is dangerous because it can lead to dependence and even alcoholism. It might work at first, but you might find you need more and more levels of alcohol in order to fall asleep because your body develops a tolerance for it. To sum up, I've mentioned 3 myths about food. First, frozen fruits and canned vegetables actually preserve many of the nutrients of the food. Second, instead of junk food, nuts are healthy food we should eat regularly. And last, alcohol do not improve your sleep quality. There are lots of myths to be busted. Now you know 3 of them, but it is not enough. Watch out next time when people tell you to eat or not to eat something. Thank you.
Wow, thanks Ivan for breaking those myths for us. I'm so surprised that so many concepts I believe are wrong. Well, I hope this doesn't mean I'm not smart. And I'm sure you guys are as surprised as I am too. Well, lives are not only about food, right? How about exercise? I believe the next speaker will tell us some interesting myths about exercise. So, let's welcome Herbert.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, do you know what temperature of water is the best for you to cool down? It's only natural that we would think drinking cold water is harmful for health. But does cold water cool us better than warm water does? In fact, the answer is not that simple. Kind of tricky, I would say. There's no so-called unquestionably right answer for this question because this notion is not entirely false. Cold drink can actually help you to cool down better if you sweat a lot, because drinking cold water would trigger internal signals which tell your body to stop sweating. On the other hand, warm drinks can help you to cool down better when you are not sweating excessively, because drinking warm water would trigger internal signals which tell your body to sweat, and the body reaction results in speeding up the sweating rate. The more your sweat evaporates, the more the heat dissipates. So, warm water does cool you down better under the specific circumstances. Basically, when you are in a hot, humid environment and you have already sweated a lot, you should drink some cold water because there's no need to increase sweat ratio in this situation. And if you are not excessively sweating, drink some warm water to help you sweat more. After it evaporates, the heat would dissipate into the atmosphere, which is the desired cooling effect we want in an extremely hot day. According to Harvard Health Publication, Drinking fluids is crucial to staying healthy and maintaining the function of every system in your body, including your heart, brain, muscles. At least 50% of our body is water, which means at least half of you is water. To know which way is better to cool down, to keep us hydrated is important to us because we are made up of water for the most part. We must care for balancing out the level of sodium, salt, and water in our body. If the amount of sodium, salt, and water in our body drops too low or high, we would be in a serious danger. Here comes the question, what should we drink after exercise? Just cool water or sports drink? Well, an expert said it depends on the duration and intensity of the physical activity and how much you sweat. Experts suggest drinking up just water is okay if the time of your exercise is less than an hour. But if the time of your exercise is more than an hour, you can use sports drink to replace electrolytes that you lost during exercise. Furthermore, most of sports drinks are added with chemical or food calories which are bad for health. So, if you are doing exercise longer than an hour and you want a sports drink to give you a boost, please make sure to choose the sport drink which adds less chemicals or food calories. Avoid the one containing unreasonably high amount of sugar. By the way, you may not know the sport drink is not the only beverage that can provide you with energy after intense exercise. Lemon juice does the trick too. Plus, there are so many vegetables and fruits which contain high electrolytes such as watermelon, cucumbers, cherries, bananas, strawberries, celeries, mangoes, and lemons, etc. They are flavors and nutritious alternative to sport drinks. To sum up, if you are going to exercise less than an hour, water is more than enough to keep you hydrated. However, if you are going to exercise more than an hour, you may need a sport drink to restore the carbohydrate and electrolytes you lost during workout. And don't forget, we do have other alternatives for sport drink like lemon juice. The most important of all, stay hydrated and be wise enough to choose what's best for you to keep you hydrated. Water, sport drink, coffee, energy drink, juice. After this speech, I believe you already have the answer in mind. In my view, I would prefer to get an ice sports drink even if I didn't get exercise. Personally, I still love flavored ice water, but I will also be aware of not taking too much sugar and keep myself hydrated with the most suitable liquid depending on the situation and the temperature of the environment. What? Are you still asking me what is the best way to stay hydrated? Pause the video now and rewind it. You will find the answer. I've done my part. Thank you.
Thanks, Herbert. Wow, incredible and unimaginable, right? I'm impressed, and I'm sure you too. Things become more and more interesting. We've mentioned the myths of food and the myths of exercise. Next, Amber is going to talk about the myths of body. I know you can't wait to listen to it. Without further ado, let's welcome Amber to break the myths for us.
Have you ever met this kind of situation where you are watching your favorite serial dramas or soap operas at night? Someone keeps telling you to go to sleep earlier because people need to sleep at least 8 hours and get up early. You think this was annoying and you're feeling like, can't you wait until I finish this episode? It's the important part now. Or imagine you're a vegetarian and you get bitten by mosquitoes very easily. But every time you get bitten by mosquitoes, There are always some people who will tell you that, oh, you must like to eat meat very much. It's because you love to eat meat you get beaten easily. And you're confused and think, what's your problem? I never eat meat. I'm a vegetarian. Actually, those concepts are old-body myths which people believe in very much but are not correct at all. There are lots of body myths in our daily lives, and let's talk about these two common ones. First, people need to sleep at least 8 hours and get up early. Well, this was right in the part that people need enough amount of sleep, but the exact number of 8 and the concept that people have to get up early are wrong. Sure, everyone needs enough amount of sleep to let their body take a rest. However, the amount of sleep that everyone needs is different. Some people only need 6 hours to relax their body, and they'll get enough energy for the next day, while others might still feel tired even though they've already slept for 9 hours or more. Well, that sounds like me. I'm the one who needs more sleep hours than others. I need at least 9 or more hours of sleep to get enough energy. However, I always have to get up before I get enough sleep, which causes the problem that I always feel tired, and I'm more easily to fall asleep during classes than others. Also, whether we should get up early or not depends on our physical condition and our daily habits. Waking up early could not only mean we have healthy lives, but could also mean that people have problems of sleep, such as insomnia. Experts said that waking up early is not a necessary thing. We should follow our internal clock to walk and rest instead of follow an inherent standard, because it will be just like telling you to do things in the wrong time if we follow the standard that doesn't fit with our internal clock, which may possibly harm your health. Some international agency, which research in cancer, point out that desiring the internal clock may raise the risk of getting cancer. So, if you just pursue waking up early because you think it should be, this sleep habit may hurt our body in some way instead of let us become healthier. The key point of having a healthy sleep is to have regular sleep habit and have enough amount of sleep. But what if you're ready to sleep, but there is something which keeps bothering you around your ear? Yes, what I'm talking about is mosquitoes, the nightmare of everyone at night. Are you often bitten by mosquitoes? If you're wondering why? Well, delicate mosquitoes like me will always get bitten very easily, and all the other people who are with me are always wondering why mosquitoes love me so much, because they can always survive from mosquitoes' attack. Well, people always think that people who love to eat meat will get bitten by mosquitoes more easily. You must have already heard people saying this myth is for lots of time. But unfortunately, it is not correct either. And it's the other common myth I want to talk about. Whether people are easily to be bitten by mosquitoes or not is proved to have no connection with the acidic and alkaline constitution. The concept that food can affect the acidic and alkaline constitution of our body has already been subverted and proved to be a fallacy. And the founder of this concept, Robert O. Young, has already been fined for $1 billion in September 2nd, 2018. As soon as this theory had been released, plenty of scientists stated that it was a lie. Sure, the food we eat will surely affect the pH value in our body, but the effect is next to nothing, so we won't change our constitution because of it. The real reason that we become the target of mosquitoes is smell and breath and body temperature. The smell, people smell after they get sweaty is an attraction to mosquitoes because of the elements and the microorganisms which are involved in it. Some research also shows that carbon dioxide is another important attraction to mosquitoes. When people release carbon dioxide by breathing and skiing, mosquitoes can feel it within 36 meters. Body temperature can also influence the possibility of being bitten by mosquitoes. People with high body temperature can be traced by mosquitoes more easily because of the volatile matters on their skin will be increased with body temperature. And the volatile matters are some of the mosquitoes' favorite things. So, I've corrected 2 myths today. One is people don't really have to sleep at least 8 hours and get up early. And the second is eating more meat won't let you be bitten by mosquitoes more easily. Our daily life is full of body myths like this, and each of them are proof that they are not correct, and we should stop believing it. So next time someone tells you some concept, don't believe it at first time. Maybe you will want to find out whether it's true or false at first, and avoid to be fooled by them. Thank you.
Now we've debunked the myths from 3 aspects, including food myths, exercise myths, and body myths. There are still tons of myths that have been proved to be wrong in our daily lives. The correct concepts should be promoted, and the myths should be broken. Do not believe all of the concepts you hear from others easily. Verify and double-check its accuracy. Let's
Bust